Hello and welcome back to A Year in Minecraft, where I have been doing some science. Mainly just waiting for these to sort of go. And I've found some results that are actually kind of shocking. This has a little more than 2 stacks. This has a little less. That one technically works better. Which is kind of what my hypothesis was anyways. But I'm still kind of shocked that it was actually right. The other problem with it is that this one takes a lot less time to refill things. So I'm thinking this is the one we're going to stick with. This one, while it doesn't give much less, it is still less. And this one would refill quicker. I did like a little check a while ago when this one had just a little more than 1 stack. This one barely had half a stack. So when it comes to like output, I think I'm just gonna stick with this one. And we're just going to use this for 1 furnace. And then I'll just chuck ores in there and then on my way. These didn't grow if there's something over them. They just don't. Flat out. Not like these where they try to grow. Don't. That leads us to our next thing. I got these to about equal number of how many things are in there. And so now it's time to check. That has 5. And this has 4. So these ones, as long as you keep essentially the number of plants in there they are both about equal. That being said, they're also probably horribly slow for bone meal. Like, it's actually kind of ridiculous how they are. So I don't think I'm going to be setting up an auto bone meal farm anytime soon. If I do, admittedly, I might do the cactus because these blocks are easier for me to get than these ones are right now. So that's definitely something to consider. We learned last time about how essentially we can only have one of these going at a time. And now time for the next part of the experiment, which is how well do these things there. Why is my mouse not moving like how I want? I had a drink in the way. It was on the cable. The real question is, can this stay? I have. Let's do 1 of each of the ores. Can this stay lit by the end of this episode? That's going to be the question. Go, that's gonna go. Where's my minecarts? Hold on. So there's a bit of an issue now. I don't know why or when this, but my minecarts. Oh, so fixing that. Okay. That just, you know what? That's fine. It's back in. Planks back in. I don't know what happened to my minecarts. Were there a second ago. Just to make sure they don't leave. For whatever reason. Oh no, we're gonna do this out of glass. I like seeing them spin. Round and round and round it goes. Also, if it decides to vanish next time, we'll know. So far, this is holding up well. But the real challenge is when it comes to the end of the episode, we'll see if it's still running. If it is, awesome, beautiful, wunderbar. If not, well, we tried. I'm still surprised that these are actually still about the same. Because that's not what I was expecting. I was actually expecting this one to do better because it technically gives you 2 whenever it goes. And these ones only give you 1. But I guess because they're bigger, they count for more? Which actually makes a lot of sense. Round and round it goes. Now here's the thing. This is about now. This still has a lot more to do. So it actually might just be that one of these feels that. Interesting. Science. Who knew? Alright. I kept saying I wanted to make an item sword. And I saw how people were doing it. And it didn't take much. It took mainly coppers, comparators, dust, then insert block of your choice, then like a filler block. I saw a lot of people paper or wool. We're also doing wool. And I was thinking about it. I was thinking about how I would do it. Realized I don't know if I actually want to do this. If I want to use these. And you might be like, but you've been talking about it for several episodes. What do you mean? I know. But you have to think about something else. Um, far enough? I didn't set this right. Um, I just looked it up. No, I did have it. Okay, so I did have this right. Whoops. But I didn't do this in the right order. There we are. Then... Oh, anvil. Worked like that. There was one going into there. And we'll just use the again because I like the. dumps it that one, this dumps it this one, this one, this dumps it into this one. And by the time it's actually down to there, well, that's actually really simple. Except I did this part wrong. I had a feeling I was doing it wrong here. Thought it required a little bit more work. There we go. That's sort of going. And it stops again. Maybe just on play. There's a faster way to do this. I know there's a faster way to do this. Yeah, it just takes some time for it. Put it in there and let it go to work. But if I wanted to do more, let's say I wanted to do set this. Oops. That's just one step. think what I have to do is I have to start this conduit here. So as an example, covered. So goes down. Good. Oh. Do something different with this one. I think for this. That. I think what happens is that this will only have that for this stack. So like ones need blanks. Essentially what is happening here, that someone described it as these are being locked because of the comparator. So the reason why the ones below them aren't pulling because of these torches, they're essentially locking them, they're stopping them. And then the comparators don't let them go until it gets to the 3, and then they start going. Like for this, we're gonna do diamond. This, do emerald. This, gold. This, copper up there. Yeah, they start filling up the bottom chests. So, for me, really, I only need this. I only need this setup. But this is like a really, really big setup for something I'm not sure how much I'm going to use this on. Like, if I wanted to do the 3, I could. But that would just give me 3 chests of this. Really useful for auto farms and really useful for stuff like actually, so that might be a faster way for me to sort things than relying on my golems for all of the different types of um like weapon stuff. So the next time I do my tower, this could be an easier way for me to sort out the bows, the armors, the um weapons, drops, all of the mob drops that I would get, I could go through here rather than relying on my golems. Which honestly isn't bad. And if I wanted to just use this for like, hey, my chest monsters, as I've learned what they're called, um, it's looking rough. And I don't really want to sort it. All I have to do is set it up one. And like the little iron golems, they're adorable. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, they're a little slow, and I might use them for smaller things, like for when I'm doing a farm and I want them to move things from. I want to sort the seeds into one. I could do it that way. Use the little golems for that because, then they look like they're little workers on my farm. I think that would be a good use. Um, but and that's I'm wondering something. I'm wondering if there's a way that I can make this like faster. It's not bad. Wondering if there's a way faster. But this would be really useful for my Hour of Death. Then I could just like loop it around itself almost. I go in there and just be like, oh, hey, look, here's all the stuff that I've collected from my Tower of Death. Amazing! You could technically make this a whole loop for, like, one of almost every item that you use. It would cost a lot, but you could do it. I probably wouldn't do 3 stacks high. 3 stacks of anything. I don't think I'd be able to fill up 3 stacks of a double chest. Although, maybe. Hmm. Okay. This obviously didn't hold up. It got through most of a stack. But in order to do more, I think it is just one of these for this. Which is kind of a shame. Because, oh, that's been working well. It's kind of a shame because, like, I was hoping it would go a little faster. Is that I remember someone mentioning dried kelp as a thing. Make I don't know. I think it's probably just best if we stick to the lava. It's a cool idea. It'd be a great idea. I don't think it's worth it. Like all of this. For this one? Sure. Where did the minecarts go on this? What the? I don't know where my minecarts went on that one, but hey. Well, here's the next test. Let's test it here too. Back of this, this. It's just like there's just not enough really worth it, I wonder. I don't know. It's been 30 minutes, let's see. At 9. That's at 8. They're still about even. Like, that's it. So we've done some things, we've learned some things. First I was hesitant about this. I probably won't use this much of it because it only stacks into the middle. So I probably don't need that much. If I'm being honest. I don't need it. If I wanted to do this again, with 2 of them going, probably have to do an inside loop and an outside loop. Like have one go one way, the other go the other way, and see flex what. I think that would be the best bet. Otherwise, it's a cool idea. It's just not really worth it. Not unless you have a metric buttload of them. I'm just trying to think. You like this. Liking this more and more. Because like I said, this doesn't even have to be a chest. I mean, it could be a chest, but if I was putting it with my mob grinder and my iron golem grinder, I could technically just funnel everything into here, put the blanks in, put the... Then I'd have one thing for iron, one thing for copy, one thing for bows, one thing for... one thing for... I forgot what it's called. On the other hand, though, this could work fine I did just think about how I'm not actually using every single, like, I would just be, I wouldn't be throwing in full stacks of ore. I would just be throwing in, like, occasional stacks. Okay, so I did learn how this works because, and I get how this sort of works as a lock now. Um, and how it needs, like, I think a 3. Thing is, how much to get it to. Okay, that's the next thing I have to. How much would it need for me to get that all the way down? I would need 11 stacks of something for me to get it to. Without it doing any spillover. Okay. Would need. I would need so. It just holds it. It's so cool. It's so cool how that works. Then, just to test and make sure. I The wonders of coding. Because how do you code something like that? This is what I mean by I'm not an engineer and I'm not someone who does a lot of code. I'm just not. It fascinates me nonetheless. Question is, like I said, is the thing still? And it is. How full are the other one? That one's still pretty full. That one's empty. That's the one that's this not empty. Huh. These ones empty. They're just. This one doesn't. Oh, that's why it's locked. Oh, the whole lock thing that literally just learned about. Oh, that makes sense now. Okay, so if I do it... Wait, does that mean that these ones haven't been receiving any because they're also locked? Doesn't look like it matters. Okay, so that's something I have to think about later. Something else. Let's put. Anyways, I'm done being dumbfounded. That's pulling ahead by literally just one. Want to do with it? This really cool. It's but it's just not feasible. All right. I don't know what else I would want to work on or what else I'd want to learn. These are mainly the ones that I want. That, of course, would have to have stuff around, so that way. Ooh, excuse me. not breaking. Not understanding that would break. Okay, so learned a lot of cool things. I think I feel like I need to learn some. I feel like I need to. Oh no. One more, learn one more, figure out more. This has given me like a very rudimentary grasp on how all of this works. I do emphasize rudimentary. But I don't know what else I would want. Unless I'm trying to figure out how to do something like alter one of these so that way I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. So I'm gonna end this one here. I know it's a bit early, but you know what? Done the science. Learned that this one's technically a little bit better than that one, but it's by such a small amount that neither of them really seem worth it at the end. We've learned that bamboo just doesn't grow fast enough for us to furnace. Plus, like, all of these are very, very full. Like, I would have to dedicate so much space for this, just for this to work. And I might if I do the underground base. I don't know, I really do wish that there was a way that I could take copper, take cauldron, the corridor, this stone, dripstone, and thing of lava. Lava fire. Okay. Would this work? It has to be through the side, that's right. Go away, you. In there. This is what I want to have happen. Have like wish I could just drain this into a bucket, into a dispenser. Maybe. Like, Like, the dream is have this drain into there. I push a button. Yeah, that does seem too good to be true. That was the dream. That was the goal. That was the want. I could do that. Infinite lava right into a furnace. That'd be nice. But alas, no cigar. So thank you guys so much for joining me on this one. We did some science, we found out things. We wished with all of our hearts that this could be true. Alas, it is not. I want to sleep. Oh. I still don't know how those work, but as far as I'm concerned, it's the same as placing. Alright, for real this time. I promise. We're done. We're done with this. We're done with it all. Thank you guys so much for joining me. And I will see you guys next time. But until then, stay safe and stay healthy. Bye.